Hi, this is going to be my first VEDA for August. My name is Loretta. However, I don't like being called Loretta, mostly because if you're of the older generation and listen to country music, or your parents listen to country music, they tend to remember this song.
Hey Loretta, I love you more than the Irish said. Hey Loretta.
Yeah. Let's just say, after the number of times I've had that song sung at me, I don't like that song anymore. So you can call me Rat. I prefer it. It's a little more gender neutral. I am 25 years old, and I live in my mother's basement. This doesn't mean I am an uneducated bum, however. It means that it's very expensive to live anywhere here. I have my early childhood education, which basically means that if there's something to know about kids, I know it. Development, behavioral. If it's about kids, I know it. From preconception all the way through 12. I enjoyed doing this for a time. Not so much anymore. The average job of an ECE is 5 years. After 5 years, they tend to burn out. I actually am doing much better than a lot. I've done this since I was 17. So, there you have it. Before I became an ECE, I wasn't doing nothing with my life. I took 1 year of a theater acting Bachelor of Fine Arts through the local university in the nearest city. That was awesome. I did really well. Unfortunately, there came the first of my money management lessons. So, due to financial reasons, I did have to drop out after a year. After which point, I moved back home with my mother and was only 18 years old. I started working 4 jobs. I waited tables. I pumped gas. I was a substitute educational assistant in classrooms from pre-kindergarten to grade 5. And I worked in the daycare. Teen support daycare in the high school that I actually graduated from. Thus, I started taking early childhood education. And it goes on and on. And so, I'm full circle. I worked in the city nearest here, in a daycare that will remain nameless. I left this daycare, which was a multicultural organization, due to discrimination. Yep. A multicultural organization that discriminates. Funny how that works. Anyway, so I moved back home with my mom, partly for my own mental health and partly for helping her. So I moved home and didn't work for 6 months because my anxiety levels were so high I could not leave my house. After that 6 months, I got a job at the teen support daycare here in town. They hired a new director who was horrible, didn't know how to do her job. They offered me her position and they would fire her because I had more education than her, and I basically said, no, and left. And within a week, had a home daycare. I did this for 1.5 years, and then all the kids who I had currently, their parents either quit their jobs, or they moved, or they were only coming maybe 5 days a month. And so I said, enough's enough. So I'm in job limbo, as I like to call it. I've applied for a couple of jobs. Good jobs. Not like, serving food at the local A&W. Try to stay away from that. One of the other jobs I applied for called at least one of my references because she sent me a text message, and we'll see how that goes. Be nice. Nice to get a job. Get a good job where I didn't have to watch other people's bratty children all the time. I live in Canada, in the ass crack of Saskatchewan, as I like to call it. Other people call it the Qu'Appelle Valley. This town is not all it's cracked up to be. It's not what people think. It's not what people assume they think they know. It's a tourist town with 1,800 people living in it, which the size doubles or triples over the summer, full of douchebags who think that they own the town. Meaning that if you live in the town, you're screwed. I'm currently in what used to be one of the nicest playgrounds in town. However, thanks to a high crime rate and douchebag teenagers, they've had to rip out everything except for 2 tires, 2 swings, and a horse. Everything else is gone. There used to be a huge climbing apparatus with a slide that went down into this little gully here, and now it's completely gone. The walking paths and biking paths are still here. They're quite nice. But that is all that's here. Anyway, look forward to my VEDAs for the month of August. Hopefully they will continue, as opposed to peter out like my last VEDAs did. I'm on a horse.